Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another video. Schecter's a brand that I don't feature that often, but probably should. On paper, for the style of music that I play, they've got some of the best options per dollar currently on the market. Now, up until now though, every Schecter that I've tried has been good. Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe them. They've been good, I just haven't fallen in love with any. They were well spec'd, reasonably priced, but I just didn't feel much while playing them. Once the loan was done and they went back to the store, I barely gave them a second thought. They failed the Marie Kondo test. Hard. This Mach Series Banshee though is different. This is far and away the best 7-string guitar that I have ever owned. Let's take a closer look. So it was actually kind of funny how I got this guitar. Schecter hit me up, we started talking a little bit, started working out some details, they asked for my address, we fell out of contact for a bit because of the whole thing that I'll get demonetized for if I talk about, and then a few weeks later a package arrived at my door with the Schecter logo on it. So I had no idea that they were sending anything, but thanks to them for doing so anyways. That was really cool, so now I've got some fresh, juicy content for you guys. So I got here, and then it just sat around for a while. My review queue is always super long, and again, my whole experience with Schecter up until this point has been, they're good, I can recommend them for sure as tools to make music, just personally never been that inspired. And it sounds stupid, but this guitar comes in two colors, Fallout Burst and this Ember Burst, and I was a bit bummed I didn't get the other color because I liked it better. Like, I just had a hard time getting excited about making a video on this guitar. But you guys just kept hounding me in the comments, Schecter Banshee review, when? And I'm so glad you did though, because this Mach 7, it's something else. It's not the cheapest Schecter, as you might have seen from the spec sheet and the demo track, but as you also saw, Schecter's packed this with just about everything they possibly could into this guitar, including a couple of features that set it apart from anything else out there. So let's get into this deep dive. Even the construction is ridiculous. Swamp Ash body, okay, cool, fairly standard, nice lightweight. Alright, now that we're done with the basic shit, how about a 5-piece roasted maple and purple heart neck with carbon fiber reinforcement? And just for fun, let's make that neck through. Like, who the f does that on a regular production model? I mean, one, it looks great. It's like out of the ordinary, but not over the top, very classy. And two, the neck stability is absolutely ridiculous. I've had it for, at this point, a couple of months already. In that time, I've had to do minor adjustments on other guitars, right? Because Georgia, we've got 2 seasons, cold and dry, then we skip all the bullshit and move on to hot and wet. My Gibson is absolutely hopeless. Meanwhile, this neck has not moved. That being said, this guitar was incredibly frustrating to play when I first got it. And now I'll be honest with you, it was because of the Evertune. Now hold on a second before you get the tinfoil hats out and are like, I knew it, Evertunes are just the latest gimmick, hashtag Evertune is over party. Just hang on. To clarify, Evertune is great, the product and the company. If you haven't seen a video of mine with Evertune before, here's the part where I gush about it. The bridge is straight up magic. Perfect tuning with perfect intonation all the time. On a 7-string, that's even more useful. No pitch drift or any nonsense like that. I love them for writing and tracking because it makes the guitar so dependable. Like this Evertune version is $200 more than the non-Evertune. That comes with Hipshot, which is not a cheap bridge either. But if you can afford it, I definitely recommend this version. The amount of time it'll save you, it is worth the $200. So check this out. No matter how much I abuse each string, still in tune. So that's cool. Then intonation on higher frets is often a problem with guitars. Action's generally higher, you have to press harder, strings get bent a bit, it can go a little out of tune. It's generally more noticeable with chords. Yeah, so because of the Evertune, not here. Also, especially on that low 7th string, when you pick hard, the pitch will drift a bit before it comes back. I mean, I'm more likely to break the string before it drifts out of pitch. As someone who generally stays away from extended range guitars, the Evertune is especially amazing because it solves so many of the quirks that put me off 7 strings. However, every Evertune equipped guitar that I've gotten to demo so far, the LTD Sir Headley 7, the BC Rich Mockingbird Extreme, my own Squire Hello Kitty, has come direct from Evertune, complete with a professional setup. Now, this did not come from Evertune, although they've been kind enough to sponsor this video because they're awesome and are great at supporting the community and content creators. Nah, this came from Schecter, and it was not set up correctly. It was set to what I refer to as auto-tune mode, where it'll try to keep the string tension completely constant, so even if you try to do bends and vibrato, it'll still stay true to the note that you're fretting, which is really weird and kind of what you don't really want most of the time. But the bigger problem was that it was also very out of tune, like by a significant amount. The strings weren't even in tune with each other. And when you've got a bridge that is designed to keep everything constant to what you've set it to, well, you can imagine the problem. And these bridges are so different to what you're used to. I mean, it's easy to adjust once you get used to it, but at first they're not completely intuitive. There is a slight learning curve. It's kind of complicated to explain. Evertune has extensive documentation online, but fine-tuning isn't done at the tuning pegs, it's done at the bridge. All this to say, if this was your first time playing an Evertune and you thought that this was how it was supposed to be, after all, it is a brand new guitar shipped directly from the manufacturer, you would never play an Evertune again. So that's something that Schecter needs to work on, because when I first plugged this in and tried to strum a chord, it was like I was recreating the magic of Guitar Center in my own home. But once I'd taken the 5 minutes to actually tune and adjust the bridge settings, this thing came to life. The fingerboard is a very nice, very smooth piece of ebony. 12 to 16 inch compound fingerboard radius. I love that on a 7 string. I love rounded fingerboards, and usually extended range guitars only come with flatter ones, so this is amazing. The binding has been rounded perfectly flush with the extra jumbo stainless steel frets. At this price, you'd be more than justified to be a little nitpicky, but I can't fault the fretwork. It is just good. The guitar is also super easy to navigate. The lumen lays on here are massive. Usually they've got like a little bordered outline. Not here. They're just big ass glow in the dark side dots that take up the entire width of the binding. Now, while I don't have an issue with them whatsoever, and honestly they're probably made in the same factory as some other name brand tuners, I feel like at this price and with the rest of the star-studded spec sheet, Schecter branded locking tuners instead of like Grover kind of sticks out in like a not so good way. Although again, I didn't have any problems with them. They feel good, so who cares? Okay, but now we have to talk about the Lundgren pickups. Actually, no. First, let's hear the guitar by itself outside of a mix. Using the same settings as the demo track for dirty, then the Marshall DSL 100H for cleans. Timestamps in the description. Now, honestly, with the rest of the spec sheet, they could have just put in whatever. Any name brand, EMGs, Seymour Duncan, Fishman might have been the expected choice for this guitar, but they've gone with Lundgren M7s instead. If you're not familiar with them, don't worry about it, neither was I. Lundgren is a small company based in Sweden that makes boutique pickups by hand, and they're best known for being the pickups of choice for the absolute wall of sound that is Meshuggah. In fact, the M pickups were designed for Fredrik Thordendal, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and his 7 strings, so it's kind of surprising to see these in anything else besides one of his signature Ibanez guitars. And I'll be honest, I was actually blown away. They are amazing pickups for extended range. They're chunky and dirty, but like dry at the same time. Really interesting pickups, and for whatever reason they mesh so perfectly with synced kick drums, which is like the Meshuggah thing. It's crazy. These pickups are just a really cool, unique inclusion. Like, this guitar sounds very different to anything else in my collection, and if not for the Mach series, I don't know when else I would have had the opportunity to try them. They're not cheap, like €340 for the set before shipping, so the fact that they're included not only in this highest end model, but across the entire Mach range is reason enough to check these guitars out. When I first saw the Mach series guitars, I was like, damn. Especially as someone who didn't have particularly strong feelings towards Schecter, I was like, $2,000? No way. Not for me. And I'll admit it, I was wrong. This is awesome. It's spec to the brim, it's so easy to play. More than that, it's inspiring to play. This is the best 7-string guitar that I've ever owned. So if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit the like button. These are of course just my opinions and I'd love to know what you think. So let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's the big red button down there and it massively helps me out. You can also tick the bell for notifications. That way YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. Thanks to Schecter for sending this guitar out and to Evertune for sponsoring this video. Social media, merch, and Discord server links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. You've been awesome and I'll see you for the next video.